Good afternoon, Fargo. Fargo City Commissioner Tony Gehrig with your how I voted for a few meetings this time. The 16 December, 30 December, and 13 January meetings that just happened here in 2020 was the last one. Not a whole lot that happened. There was kind of some redundancy in the meeting, so I combined them together. I'll start with the December 16 and 30. We talked about the auditorium, the City Hall Auditorium Commission. So we appointed some folks to that commission. Not really big news. The bigger news is, what is the Auditorium Commission? And they're taking a look at what is currently sitting at the Civic Center, and they want to pop the top out of this thing or demolish it altogether and spend $60 million to create something new. Why? It's a functional building. It is busy 200 times a year. It does what it needs to do. What they want to do is turn it into about a 2,500 seat auditorium for events. So mostly for concerts and plays or musicals, things like that. Here's the problem: we already have a city-owned thing that does that, and that's called Blue Stem over in Moorhead. We own that. It houses about 2,500 people in it. So we're going to have two publicly owned facilities. One upwards of $60+ million. The other one is in debt millions of dollars. They're going to compete directly against each other. I don't see a problem here, do you? I do see a problem. They're both going to lose massive amounts of money, and it's not going to be worth it. We already have, like I said, a functional building that we can use. So let's use it. Let's stop wasting tax dollars on things we don't need. Needs versus wants, like I always say. And let's focus those tax dollars on things, I don't know, like flood protection, or like spending less on special assessments. Let's buy down some special assessments instead of going down this road. And what people say is that we're going to have half of that money paid for by the private sector. They're not going to pay for it. It's a pipe dream. No one's going to plop down $30 million to put the Tony Gehrig Stadium up. It's just not going to happen. So be aware what they're doing with this commission. They're going to try to push this. They're going to try to say it's a city need. It's not. It's a massive waste of money, and we need to stop doing this right now before it goes too far. For the last night's meeting, again, we signed the agreement with the MAA, the Municipal Airport Authority, saying here's what you guys do, here's what we do, let's work together to make the airport great. What I learned today was that 1 million people a year go through that airport. It's a huge driver of our economy here. FedEx, UPS, the Guard flies out of there. So it's a big deal for us to get along as two government agencies to work together. What the City Commission can do with the airport is we can appoint its members, we can not appoint the member and appoint someone new, or we can dissolve the whole thing. That's about it. Everything else is really up to them. So we need to stay in our lane, they should stay in theirs, and then we can work together to make that a great place. The last thing and the most important thing, we are borrowing $11.5 million to build a parking ramp. $11.5 million to build a parking ramp in downtown Fargo. Why is that a big deal? Well, as stated in earlier videos, that parking ramp will lose $260,000 every year, for always. So in 25 years, when the incentive is gone, it still won't make any money. It'll require a lot of maintenance to maintain that building and keep it so it's not going to crumble. So we're going to lose money on this thing. Also, we have to borrow the money to build it. We have to borrow $11.5 million. And how does the city borrow money? We sell bonds. What we found out is that last night is that our bond rating actually went down because we're too far in debt. We have too much debt lying around. So we went from what was it? A AA1 with a negative outlook to a AA2 with a stable outlook, and they tried to pass that off as a good thing. Hey, we're stable. Well, we got downgraded to a stable position. That's like saying I got an A- in my paper last time, but this time I got a B+, which is a plus. I got a B+. No, it's a bad thing. Why is it bad to have bad credit or worsening credit? Because that means every dollar you borrow is now more expensive. Every time we borrow $1 for anything, it's going to cost the taxpayer, you, more money to borrow that money. Guess what we borrow a lot of? Special assessments. Every year we borrow millions, tens of millions of dollars in special assessments. And it's going to cost you, the taxpayer, even more to borrow that money now. Incentives are driving your special assessments up. It's one more reason we need to stop doing this. And we just won't learn from our mistakes. So our credit is going down. We're building a building with this new money that we borrowed for a building that's going to lose $250,000 forever, every year forever. And now it hurts our other bond ratings so that whenever we borrow money in the future, it will cost you, the taxpayer, more money. It's crazy town. I cannot believe it. and it was a 4-1 vote to do this, and I'm the guy in the room looking around saying, am I the only person noticing what's happening? Hopefully you notice what's happening. Hopefully you're paying attention. Hopefully you'll call your city commissioners. Hopefully you will message your friends, share this video, and show people what we're doing. Because we're not the only city doing this, by the way. Show people what's going on, and please have your conversations, blow some minds, and please keep watching how your city commissioners are spending your tax dollars. Thank you.